بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد عن زيد بن حبيش رحمة الله عليه قال أتيت صفوان بن عسال الموادي رضي الله عنه أسأله عن المسح على الخفين فقال ما جاء بك يا زيد فقلت ابتغاء العلم فقال إن الملائكة تضع أجنحتها لطالب العلم رضا بما يطلب قلت إنه حك في صدري المسح على الخفين بعد الغائط والبول إلى آخر الحديث أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام وبشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربي زدنا علما ربي زدنا علما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وبارك وسلم اللهم صل على محمد عبدك ورسولك وصل على أمهات المسلمين والمسلمات أمهاتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار اللهم إنا نسألك علما نافعا ورزقا واسعا وحلالا طيبا وعملا متقبلا وشفاء من كل داء. This hadith narrated by one of the tabi'een, who narrates from Safwan bin Asar radiallahu anhu. So the tabi'i, Zayd bin Hubaysh rahmatullahi alayhi, he says in the time of Hadith Uthman radiallahu anhu, he came in contact with Hadith Safwan bin Asar radiallahu anhu, and he took that opportunity to ask him about a mas'ala, to clarify the mas'ala. So Safwan bin Asar radiallahu anhu asked that, why have you come? So he replied that I have come to seek knowledge. Took the opportunity again, Safwan bin Asar radiallahu anhu, he mentioned one of the virtues of seeking knowledge, that the malaika pay respect to the person who has come out to seek knowledge. They make dua for this person and they protect this person. Then Zayd bin Hubaysh rahmatullahi alayhi, he put forward his mas'ala that he had in his mind, he wanted to clarify, which was related to Masah al-Khuffayn. So he mentioned that Masah al-Khuffayn, to wipe over the leather socks, is permissible after one person has done a complete wudu, he has washed his feet. After that, he put his leather socks on. Then the next time the wudu break, the nawaqid of wudu, the breakers of wudu occur, the wudu is broken, then at that moment, when a person has got the leather socks on, it is allowed for him to do masah on that socks. So the mas'ala that he wanted to clarify was, are we allowed to do masah on the khuffayn after we relieve ourselves from gha'it wal bawl, after we relieve ourselves, number one, and number two? So the Safwan bin Asar radiallahu anhu explained, when we learn fiqh, we divide our hadith, when a person is in the state of not in wudu, it's divided into two parts. One is called hadith asghar, one is called hadith akbar. Hadith asghar is when a person is in need of wudu only. He only needs wudu, then he'll be in the state of taharat. Hadith akbar is when a person is in the state of janabat after intercourse, or a person has a wet dream. So when he's in the state of janabat, he's in the state of hadith akbar. So here, Safwan bin Asar radiallahu anhu explained that when we are traveling, or when we are a traveler, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he told us that 3 nights and 3 days, illa min janabatin, la min gha'itin wa bawlin wa nawmin, that if a person has got his leather socks on and hadith asghar occur and happen, hadith asghar, the lesser and the lighter hadith take place, then it is permissible for him to do masah on his socks. However, illa min janaba, if a hadith akbar take place, that if a person comes in the state of janabat, now he cannot do masah on his socks only. He has to remove the socks, wash his feet, and then start the cycle again. So this was the mas'ala that Zayd bin Hubaysh rahmatullahi alayhi wanted to clarify, and Safwan bin Asar explained through an incident where he says that when we used to travel with, or we were travelers, this is what the guidance of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was. So this is the first part of the hadith. Second part of the hadith, Zayd bin Hubaysh rahmatullahi alayhi says, فَقُلْتُ هَلْ سَمِعْتَهُ يَذْكُرُ فِي الْهَوَى شَيْئًا. So I asked Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Sufyan bin Asar radiallahu anhu, that have you heard anything about love? You know, when you have love, muhabba for something or somebody, have you heard anything about this? This is another topic as well, that what is love, what are the limits of love, who can we love, how can we express love. It's very important that we understand the limits of love. We cannot say that love has no limits, do what you want. Otherwise you see what's happening in the world, that there's no they don't differentiate between anything. There's no distinction between anything. They are doing whatever they want, and it's important for us to understand. So here, Safwan bin Asad radiallahu anhu replied that, Na'am, yes, I have heard Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that kunna ma'an Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam fi safarin. Once we were on a journey with Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, فَبَيْنَا نَحْنُ عِنْدَهُ إِذْ نَادَاهُ أَعْرَابِيٌّ بِصَوْتٍ لَهُ جَهْوَرِيٍّ يَا مُحَمَّدٍ. That whilst we were traveling with Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and we were with Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and all of a sudden a Bedouin, a Arabi, he called out, Ya Muhammad, Ya Muhammad, in a very loud voice. بِصَوْتٍ جَهْرَوِيٍّ, like very high tone. Bedouin, that's their nature, they speak loud. So, فَأَجَابَهُ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ عَلَى نَحْوٍ مِّن صَوْتِهِ هَاُمْ. So, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he replied to this Bedouin in a similar tone as he called out to Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. وَقُلْنَا لَهُ وَيْحَكْ أُغْضُضْ مِنْ صَوْتِكَ فَإِنَّكَ عِنْدَ النَّبِي صلى الله عليه وسلم وَقَدْ نُهِيتَ عَنْ هَذَا فَقَالَ وَاللَّهِ لَا أَغْضُضْ. So we, the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, we were with the Nabi ﷺ. So we stopped this individual, we stopped this Bedouin, and we said to him that, Tera naso, woe to you, lower your voice. You are with the Nabi ﷺ. We have been refrained and we have been told not to raise our voice. We have been stopped from this, meaning speaking loudly in front of Nabi ﷺ. So the Bedouin says, فَقَالَ Wallahi la aghlul, by Allah, I will never lower over my voice. I'm not going to speak quietly. قال الأعرابي المرء يحب القوم ولما يلحق بهم. So the Arabi, the Bedouin, he asked the question to Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam that a person loves a tribe, loves a group, but he's not with them. He's not at that level. Meaning, a person has muhabba for somebody or some group of people, but the a'mal and the deeds of those individuals or of that person is way greater than his own. His a'mals are very less, the quality is less, the quantity is less, everything is less. But the person that he has muhabbat for, or the people that he has muhabbat for, their quantity and the quality and the number of deeds are amazing, they're greater than his. So وَلَمَّا يَلْحَقْ بِهِمْ. So قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم المرء مع من أحب يوم القيامة. So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, now he replied that a person will be with those who he has loved on the day of judgment. Now why did the Sahaba stop that Bedouin from speaking loudly in front of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? In Surah Al-Hujurat, the second ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says that يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا لَا تَرْفَعُوا أَصْوَاتَكُمْ فَوْقَ صَوْتِ النَّبِيِّ وَلَا تَجْهَرُوا لَهُ بِالْقَوْلِ كَجَهْرِ بَعْضِكُمْ لِبَعْضٍ أَن تَحْبَطَ أَعْمَالُكُمْ. That when we talk to each other, our voices raise. However, when we are talking to Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, our voices shouldn't be higher than the level of the voice of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So the volume of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and our volume should be different. Our volume of speech should be lower than the volume of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So our voice shouldn't go louder than Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam voice. Not the way we talk to each other, we raise our voice, sometimes we be quieter and louder. Not like that. We have to be lower than Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam's voice. Why? Because if you're going to raise your voice louder than Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, this would fall into disrespect of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and tahbata a'malukum, and because of this, all of your good deeds will be wiped away. All of your good deeds will become void, will become invalid. So because of this, the Sahaba radiallahu anhum ajma'in told his Bedouin to lower his voice. However, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he replied to the Bedouin in a similar voice. Now here we learn the mercy of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Look how kind and how merciful Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam was that he didn't want this Sahabi's a'mal to be destroyed and to become invalid. So he also replied in a similar voice, so maybe higher, or a similar voice, so that the a'mal of this Bedouin doesn't get it become invalid and it's not destroyed. So this we learn from this part of the hadith also, we learn that how Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam merciful and how kind he was. So the Bedouin asked that, we have muhabbat for somebody, but we haven't reached that level. So Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that a person will be with whom he loves on the day of judgment. Our deeds are not such, but we hope and we have muhabbat for them. Inshallah, because of the muhabbat and love we have for them, then we will reach that level. أحب الصالحين ولست منهم لعل الله يرزقني صلاحا. أحب الصالحين ولست منهم. That I have muhabbat for the sulaha, for the pious. However, I'm not with them. I hope in the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He will grant me that salah and He grant me that success and He grant me that level. Grant me that deed or be in that group. Now, talking about muhabbat, generally when a person has love for something, he will bring that part of love in his life. When a person has love for a person, for another person, whatever the person likes, whatever the person loves to eat, whatever type of drink he will drink, the dress that he will dress, the way he will walk, the way he will talk, his lifestyle, this person will also try to adopt that, because that's the requirement of the love. If you love somebody, the way you express love to somebody is not just verbal, it will be physical, it will be deep down. So like this, when you have muhabbat for somebody, you will follow their sirat, their ma'ishat, their mu'asharat, in all aspects, their social life, the transactions, and their all type of matters. You will try to copy that and you will try to be like that. That's why it's important that we choose our company, we choose our friendship very carefully. Because when you have friendship with somebody, then automatically that will influence us. That's our nature. We influenced by who are around us. So wherever we are, we're going to be influenced by that. So if you have good company, then their habits, their lifestyle, their thoughts, their ideas, their beliefs will brush onto us. So we have to choose our friends very carefully. Now, so what we have is that we have to have love for Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Sahaba radiallahu anhum ajma'in. One of the in the explanation, it points out very beautifully here. He says that, look, we are encouraged to love Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We are encouraged to love the group of the Sahaba. Now that is 1400 years ago. 1400 years ago. So that does not mean that you start living the lifestyle how they lived. It doesn't mean that you start living exactly the way how they lived. Whatever you have available now, from the technology, from other advancement, whatever we have, we utilize that and we use it in such a way that it reflects their life. So it doesn't mean that you become a monk and just live completely separate and just abandon every single thing and there's no sort of connection and there's no social life, nothing. No. It means whatever you have available in your time, you use that. Whatever masnu'at, ijadat, taraqqiyat, whatever you have, you take benefit from that. You take benefit from that. However, it should be in the line of the Sahaba and the line of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It shouldn't be in the life of the ghair and of the others. It shouldn't be the lifestyle of others. So whatever we have, we utilize that in the way of that it takes us towards the life of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam and life of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum ajma'in. Now this al-mar'u ma'a man ahabba, where Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that a person will be with whoever he loves. Alhamdulillah, and inshallah we have this love for Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We have the love for Sahaba radiallahu anhum ajma'in. This part of the hadith is telling us that when we have love for the Sahaba, we will be with them on the day of judgment. Now also, the other thing that's indicated here is towards husn khatima, towards good end to life. Because on the day of judgment, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will divide the group, and if we are put with the group of the Sahaba, that means that you have passed away with Iman for him to be with the group of the Sahaba. So this part of the hadith is also indicating towards that a person will leave this world with Iman. So we have to think and reflect in our own life that who do I have muhabbat for, whose lifestyle am I following and adapting, who am I copying, and whose life is based on, and in that way, a person will be able to find out who will be with him, he will be with on the Day of Judgment. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the correct understanding. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the love of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the love of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum ajma'in, and understand how to make our life following the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this was the second part of the hadith. So there was 3 parts of this hadith. The first part was where Masa' al-Khuffayn was discussed. The second part of the hadith is here where Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned about the person will be with whom he will be with on the Day of Judgment. And the third part of the hadith is related to our chapter, the chapter of Tawbah. Inshallah, we'll discuss next week. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our gathering. Subhanallah bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati ma yasifun, wa salamun ala al-mursalin, walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin, bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Jazakallah.